To tell us more is David Phillips, senior climatologist with Environment Canada. He joins us from the warmth inside his home in Barrie, Ontario. Hi, David.
Hi, Marcia.
You have covered the weather for some time. Have you ever remembered it being this cold?
Well, I have, actually, although probably not as early as this. I was thinking of Toronto, for example. We had the temperature this morning at minus 22. We didn't have a temperature that cold all of last winter. But then the year before that, on Valentine's Day, when the NBA All-Star game was in Toronto, it got down to minus 26. So we were showing our mettle there back then to the Americans tuning in to find one of the coldest days ever. So yes, Marcy, I've been in this business a long time. I've seen it colder, but it's not often that you see it from almost coast to coast. And of course, so early, just only a week after winter began, we've seen this pretty cold weather. And of course, it's, as you've been saying, it's going to stay for a while.
And how long is a while, Dave?
Yeah. Well, you know, in fact, we see even on the prairies, for example, it may get colder tomorrow. I mean, we're talking about temperatures that could be 4 or 5 degrees colder than they are today happening tomorrow. And then we begin to see some moderation, but certainly no, it's not going to be a rescue melting kind of condition. We're going to be in this deep freeze for quite a while. We're going to end the year across the country on a very cold note and begin the new year on that same kind of condition. I think that we probably, by the end of the first week of January, we'll see some single-digit negative highs in the prairies, and that will certainly be a little bit above normal for that time of the year. Here in the east, because the cold came a little later, we're going to have to wait a little longer. It may not be until the sometime in the second week of January. Marcia, you know, I mean, it really is crazy because this morning the North Pole was warmer than places in almost all of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and even my hometown. The most southern place in all of Canada, Windsor, was 4 degrees colder than the North Pole.
Oh, my goodness. So what's responsible for this cold, bitter cold, Dave? I don't know how else to put it.
Well, I can tell you, Marcia, the Americans are blaming us for it. They're looking to the north and saying, oh, there is the second coldest country in the world, the snowiest. That's where all this Canadian air is coming from. Well, we're looking further to the north. We look to Siberia. And really, the source region for this cold air is coming from Siberia. It's come over the North Pole, and then it's got this polar vortex, which normally just spins there around like a barber's pole. Well, it's kind of relaxed. It's weakened, he says. And then this cold air has just plunged down over the heart of Canada, bringing some winds and, of course, these brutal kind of wind chills, which I've seen minus 45, minus 50. I mean, almost would freeze flesh in a matter of a minute. So it's really to the far north, but and of course, it's very thick and heavy. And that's why, Marcy, it's hard to get rid of it. It just sticks in there, all the nooks and crannies. It's like molasses covering the ground. And then it takes days, weeks to kick it out.
All right, Dave Phillips for us. Dave, thank you so much and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Marcia. You too. Bye-bye.